Last week I presented a web event that I have also put a copy of up on Beit Shalom's YouTube channel. And so I want to just give you a little bit of background about how this happened and what this was and what it's useful to our community for. I had been asked by an independent Roman Catholic renewal organization in North Utica that we've worked with in the past to do a theological lecture as part of their Theology Uncorked series. Now, with Theology Uncorked, I assumed and was told that there would be a group of people in a room. I was to give an academic lecture on something of interest in terms of biblical theology, and I chose the title Salvation History in the Biblical Feasts. And so they asked me to do it. The pandemic and the restriction on large groups being together came into being. They canceled the event, and then they approached me again after the event was canceled and said, would you consider doing this as a webcast? And so I prayed about it and agreed to do that. And so last week put together a webcast that I did for the Good News Center. Now, you might wonder how this event or how this lecture could be useful to the Messianic movement. And one of the things that has happened is over the course of years, one of the distinctives to the Messianic movement is our doing the biblical feasts as outlined in Leviticus chapter 23. And much of the body of Messiah doesn't see much use for the biblical feasts. So the lecture that I gave at the Good News Center is an apologia or an explanation for how the biblical feasts are useful to believers in Messiah Yeshua. And so if you have those who are Christian, if you have those who are friends of yours, those who are relatives, those who are Christians who love the Lord but don't understand the Messianic Jewish movement and the importance of the biblical feasts to those of us who have been in it for a while, this is a 40-minute lecture which will help explain the importance of the revival and the renewal of the biblical feasts to Christians who don't normally do this. So I'm hoping that this will be useful to you, and I'm hoping that if my mentioning this brings to mind people who would really benefit from understanding this, that good things are going to end up happening and that you're going to be able to share this. And so take a look at what I say and see if I've taught all of this at another point in time at Beit Shalom, or if there's things in here that you feel that you learn from this. And if there's folks who have never quite gotten your involvement with the Messianic Jewish movement, this might be an interesting introduction to them and an opportunity for them to see parts of the Word of God in a different fashion than they've ever seen it before. Shalom. Thanks.